My name is Mr. Skidmore, and this will be my classroom rules and procedures for my 11th grade science class. So, starting off with meme number 1, we can see Drake, who, as you can clearly see in the top panel, does not approve of Cap. Sorry about that. In the second panel, beneath the first, you can see that Drake does approve of no cap. And that is because cap in class is more than just a hat rule. It is a respect rule. It is an expectation in Mr. Skidmore's classroom that everyone will maintain a high level of respect for one another. Capping is also a modern slang term for lying, which will not be tolerated in this classroom. Plagiarism is an example of lying that has no place in any classroom. Students should treat any substitute or other adult in the room with the same respect they have for the classroom teacher. So moving on to meme number 2, you can see in the first panel, Frankenstein's monster giving his name, "I'm Frankenstein's monster," to which Yellow Guy replies, "You don't seem like a monster." Frankenstein's monster then asks him, "I know the bell just rung, but can I go to the bathroom?" To which Yellow Guy is clearly disgusted. And rightfully so, because this is an example of a clear lack of respect for the teacher, the classroom, and of all the other students. Frankenstein's monster believes that they have more value than all the previously mentioned groups and think their time is being wasted in the classroom. Any bathroom problems should be taken care of between classes. Along the same line, any homework will be submitted into the turn-in tray outside of standard instruction time. These are procedures that support my classroom guidelines about arrival and dismissal. Any classroom transition should be done quietly and deliberately. Also noting the bell does not dismiss you, I do. Moving on to meme number 3, you see a note that reads, "But I was in the room when the bell rung," to which Gravity Falls Guy replies, "Whoa, this is useless." Because just being in the classroom when the bell rings will result in a tardy. Time in the classroom is limited, and the teacher needs to be able to maximize their time at the highest level of efficiency. When the bell rings, the teacher needs to be entering attendance while the students are completing the entry activity. If a student is not in their seat when the bell rings, the classroom will not be operating at max efficiency. Along these same lines, students that miss lessons hold the responsibility of finding out what they missed from the teacher outside of standard instruction time. There will be a sign-in and sign-out sheet for the times when students do need to leave the classroom. The hall pass will be a bar of soap because that would be very easy for a teacher to sanitize. So moving on to meme number 4, you see Pink Guy passing a note in class to Blue Guy, which should not be happening because passing notes in class is not allowed. The note reads, "Can I borrow a pencil?" with a question mark, to which Blue Guy is very angry to have received that note. And rightfully so, because how could Pink Guy have wrote that unless he had a pencil? Students should always come to class prepared to do work with their hands. This means they will need a pencil and paper most days in this classroom. I do not believe that students should be punished for not bringing these materials into the classroom, so it will be provided if they do not bring them. Incomplete or illegible work will not be accepted or graded by the teacher. I do not believe it is fair for a student to receive a grade for something the teacher cannot read. All papers should be headed with a first name, a last name, a class name, and a period number. Incorrectly formatted papers will be treated as incomplete. So moving on to meme number 5, you can see we're in a prison cell. Big Tough Guy says, "I killed a man, and you?" To which the other guy says, "I didn't do my homework for Mr. Skidmore." To which the big guy moves as far away as he possibly can, which is the correct response. Late work will typically be allowed for up to 75% of the original points. I believe students should not be punished for not completing work on time, but not gutted with a 0. If a student is sick or out of school, they will have however many days they missed, plus 1 to make up any work for the class. Additionally, food will not be permitted in the classroom. Water, coffee, and gum will be permitted, however. The students are responsible for any cleanup needed because of their spillage. Moving on to meme number 6. "Terry, are you reading a book?" "Yeah, dude, it's called The Art of School." Later, "Hey, I asked questions during Mr. Skidmore's class. Modern classrooms require both the teacher and the students to be active in the learning process. Please use signal cards instead of raising your hand. Cell phones are just fine for taking notes or recording lessons, but will be confiscated if I suspect they are not being used for schoolwork. Students should always be focused and active participants in the class. If this was a movie, there would be popcorn. A lack of participation will come at a cost of points. Remember that if you finish the activity, work on things for other classes. There will be no free time. This is a classroom, not a circus. Grading will be on both process and the product. Any group activities will have individualized grading based on contributions. Expected behavior is cooperative. Roles and members will be assigned by the teacher based on what the teacher thinks different students can offer. There will be no movement between groups. The teacher should be able to get the class's attention with their normal voice. So moving on to meme number 7, our last meme. To survive in the wild, you need a reliable source of water. To which yellow guy says, there are too many rules and procedures. Blue guy then starts welling up with tears, and yellow guy can drink them for a reliable source of water. Relax, the rules are a lot simpler than you think. I know a lot of information at once can be overwhelming, but we will do a review game together to help ease us into the swing of things. The review game is group whiteboards. The classroom memes will always be displayed on the wall if you ever need a refresher, and we will be revisiting the rules and procedures after major breaks, which will be New Year's and spring break. Thank you so much for watching, and one more note before the rules and procedures are over. Go Buckeyes!